Are you Jewish? Are you Jewish?
You want to check my penis?
Okay.
Huh? Is that what you want to do?
My real question is,
Yeah,
what
what
were
is
you
your real
whistling?
question?
Yeah, what were you whistling?
Hello, Dolly?
No, it was Wagner.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
You,
it's a
sir,
major-
$100.
I want to know what a Jew is whistling Wagner
Do you
for,
wanna
when he was
know?
one of the great anti-Semites of the world. You know what you are?
What am I?
You're a self-loathing Jew.
Am I?
Oh,
Well,
yes,
let me tell you
yes,
something.
yes, yes.
I do hate myself,
yeah.
but it has nothing to do with being Jewish, okay?
No, it doesn't have anything
No,
to
it
do with
doesn't,
the Jews.
yeah.
As millions of Jews
right.
were taken to the concentration camps
Okay.
with Wagner being played in the background.
You know-
Yes, Hitler's favorite composer.
Really?
Yes.
You know what? They got a mental asylum a couple of
No,
blocks
not
down.
a mental
I
assignment.
suggest,
No.
I suggest
Where's
you go
your heritage?
and check yourself
Where's your
in.
Judaism? Millions
Judaism,
of years.
where are...
Tell me your sins, my son.
Well, I should mention that I'm Jewish.
That's no sin.
Oh, good.
כוסות של יין. יגידו לך, יש כוס אחת, יש רעל מוות. אתה תשתה מתוך 1,000 כוס אחת?
לא יודע, אני מאוד מאמין בערבים.
עזוב ערבים, שאלתי אותך שאלה. יש פה 1,000 כוסות של ערק. באחת מהן יש רעל ציאנית. באחת.
אבל יש חרט הרעל בחברה
אם אני
הישראלית.
צריך לשתות 1,000 כוסות ערק, אני מוכן לשתות 1,000 עם ציאנית.
אתה לא מבין שאצל הערבים, לא כולם, יש כאלה
הם בדיוק כמונו, מה אתה חושב שהם שונים? הם לא שונים.
הם שונים.
הם לא שונים.
תעשה לי טובה. ערבי שונא יהודים בדם שלו. ערבי שונא.
מי אמר את זה?
אני אומר לך.
אבל זה לא נכון.
זה כן נכון.
לא נכון.
The Jews need a safe country in order to prevent the possibility of another Holocaust, in order to solve the persecution of Jews throughout millennia. is one of the founding principles of Israel. You don't think that holds any water either?
To take the issue of the Holocaust and to take that and to use it to rebel against God when God specifically told us, do not attempt to make your own state, and to use that to take the land from the Palestinian people is taking the people that died because they were Jewish, and to sort of dig them up and use them to rebel against God. It couldn't be anything worse for these people who died as Jews.
This is the last phase of European colonization. And notice that the countries that are most strongly in support of Israel are not just the United States. It's the United States, Australia, and Canada, the offshoots of England, Anglosphere sometimes called, unusual forms of imperialism. These are settler colonial societies. In 1958, when there was a serious crisis in the region, Israel was the only state that strongly cooperated with Britain and the United States, and it won plenty of support from the governments and the military for that reason. 1967 is when the current relations with Israel were pretty much established. Israel performed a major service to the United States by destroying a secular Arab nationalism.
The Jewish religion forbids, since the destruction of the temple 2,000 years ago, we were given an edict, a decree by God, it's a prophecy of King Solomon, that we are not to attempt to recreate our sovereignty. We are expressly forbidden to try to attempt to make any Jewish nationalism sovereignty, and this was respected and upheld by Jews throughout the trials and tribulations of the Inquisition, the Crusades, and every time period of Judaism when they were easily capable of buying land. They never did it because they understood this is against the will of the Almighty, and this is not what it means to be a Jew.
During your speech, you made a lot of references to Jewish people as well as certain people in your audience, not Jewish people in general, but certain people, especially in your audience, to Nazis. Now, that is extremely offensive when certain people are German, and they're also extremely offensive to people who've actually suffered under Nazi rule.
I don't respect that anymore. I really don't. I don't like and I don't respect the crocodile tears to the crocodile tears. No, I'm sorry, folks. I don't like to play before an audience the Holocaust card. But since now I feel my late father was in Auschwitz concentration camp. My late mother was in Majdanek concentration camp. Every single member of my family on both sides was exterminated. Both of my parents were in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. And it's precisely and exactly because of the lessons my parents taught me and my two siblings that I will not be silent when Israel commits its crimes against the Palestinians. And I consider nothing more despicable than to use their suffering and their martyrdom to try to justify the torture, the brutalization, the demolition of homes that Israel daily commits against the Palestinians. So I refuse any longer to be intimidated or browbeaten by the tears. If you had any heart in you, you would be crying for the Palestinians, not for what's been done.
אני בכלל בעד שכולם יחיו בשלום בכל מקום בעולם וידברו את אותה שפה. אבל אני נולדתי, אמרו לי שאני יהודייה, אז אני יהודייה. מעבר לזה אני לא חוקרת. טוב לי.
In Vermont, the suspect accused of shooting 3 young Palestinian college students appeared in court today as police investigate whether it was a hate crime.
The family says Tahsin Ali Ahmed, Hisham Awatani, and Kenan Abdelhamid were out for a walk, chatting in Arabic and English. 2 of them were wearing keffiyehs, traditional Arab scarves. According to the affidavit, Abdelhamid told police a man in a hoodie walked toward them and pulled out a pistol and started firing without saying a word. All 3 were shot.
There's no reason that he should have been targeted in this way, because it was a targeted crime, without a doubt.
Authorities have not charged Eaton with a hate crime, but police say they are still investigating. It comes during a nationwide spike in both Islamophobic and anti-Semitic incidents.
All of us have also seen a sharp increase in the volume and frequency of threats against Jewish, Muslim, and Arab communities across our countries.
The war overseas fueling protests and hate nationwide.
We need to preach that all hate against Jews, against Muslims, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, these are ills in our country and they undermine our democratic values.
Do you think that is a message we're hearing from leaders in this country?
There's some lip service being paid to this, Stephanie, but it's not backed by really sincere efforts.
Palestinian-American Amani Jamal is the Dean of International Affairs at Princeton. She went to the same high school in the West Bank as the 3 young men.
These students are me 30 years ago. And our dream was to come to the United States to get an education so that we could live a life of dignity and freedom.
בעיניי הכל שטויות, באמת. חבל שזה ככה, אבל ככה גדלנו, אני יודעת. אם מדור לדור אמא שלך תעשה ניתוח פלסטי באף, בסוף הצאצא השמיני התשיעי יצא עם אף קטן. וככה זה עובד. ככה חונכנו, וזה מה יש. נולדנו למציאות הזאת.